So you see from all of this that the real issue is not cooking itself. The real issue is expectations. Many people enter into marriages without discussing their expectations clearly. Let me paint this picture. A man who grew up in a home where his mother cooked every single day, and a woman who grew up in a home where the parents shared responsibilities. Imagine that they get married. Each of them are coming with that mindset that my normal is the normal. When they get married and they don't discuss what their normal is, there will be clashes, there will be frustrations. This is where I will say that if you're single, you're yet to be married, please don't skip the conversation around gender roles. Don't skip it. Talk about it. Know what is their normal. Negotiate. See if it will work. Talk about it. Don't assume because you're in love. Because research has shown that household imbalance is one of the major causes of resentment in marriage. And I hear these stories of women who are resentful. I hear more of the women, yeah, so I'm going to be honest, who are resentful. So picture this woman who she will tell you what her day has been. She wakes up around 4:30. She goes to cook. She has to wake the children by 5 to get them ready. The husband is at home to get them ready. By 6, they are ready to go. And she drops them. She goes to work. By 6, she leaves work. She picks the children. As she's dropping her bag, she's entering the kitchen. At times, she will undress before entering the kitchen. But the next thing is to cook, get the children ready for dinner. While she's cooking, the children are coming with their assignments for her to help them with it. By the way, the man is also either at home or he has gone out to gist with friends, but he also closes work at 6. So while in that kitchen, she's just angry. She's just angry. She's wondering why she's the one who has to do everything. And this man is probably chilling out with friends. He's no longer at work. She'll finish everything and she also has to wash the children's clothes and prepare them for bed. She's done with everything by 9:30, 10. All she wants to do is to shower, eat, and sleep. She jumps on the bed. The man is home at this time and he's tapping her to have sex with her. She said that's where the height of her anger comes. Because she's wondering, you saw me doing all of this. It never occurred to you to help, to assist. And sometimes I don't blame the men because some of the women never communicated. That's in marriage. They never communicated and they wanted help. They showed the men that they were super women. So at times I don't blame the men. It is the times that I blame the men is when they've communicated that they need help, but you feel like men should not be doing this. Yeah, that's when I will have a conversation with the men. But back to the picture, the woman will tell you that when the man taps her for sex, the only reason she allows him to sleep with her at that time is just because she wants to be a good Christian woman. She doesn't want to deprive the man of his rights, as the Bible says. Not because she genuinely wants to do it, because she's tired, she's angry, she's resentful. And at times, when men say, oh, my wife is not active in bed, she just acts like a log of wood, I just want to tell the man that, foreplay for a woman starts before the bedroom. It's those little things that you called, you checked up on her, you sent flowers, you were involved with your children. That's romantic. The children want to do their own work. You are calling them to bring it. You are gisting with them, talking with them. You go to help in the kitchen. Those things are romantic. No matter how tired she is, yeah? When it's night and you want to have sex with her, she's willing. In fact, it feels like she wants to reward you and please you. Genuinely. Not one that she's doing dutifully. What am I saying? I'm saying that most of the things we call normal, and this is, it goes to men that grew up in traditional homes. where they don't do anything and they bring it into their marriages. Most of the things they call normal, they don't know how much is working against them. Especially when you marry a woman who is almost like a polar opposite of that upbringing and environment. I was talking about research and how that research says that household imbalance brings a lot of resentment. And it causes that resentment, especially in homes where the partner feels unseen, unsupported, and unassisted. So it goes beyond just doing and being involved. It also crosses into the lanes of appreciation, value. Let me paint this picture. A woman who is doing all the cooking, but the husband actually appreciates what she's doing and is very vocal about it, will feel more fulfilled doing that work than a woman whose husband occasionally cooks but still belittles the woman. So it goes beyond just doing the act. Appreciation matters, value matters. Why did I talk about all of these things? Please communicate your expectation. Let the person know where you're coming from. If you are coming from the typical traditional home where the man does nothing, let your intended know where you're coming from and whether you intend to replicate that in the marriage or not. And be sincere because you spend years with this person. Don't lie to them. The truth is, you will find women who don't mind that. And you will find women that mind it. So choose your own kind. That's the point of all of these things. If you're saying that you're not willing to be flexible or bend or do any of all of those modern things, look for a woman whose values and principles aligns with yours. And you do that, you know the woman when you talk about your expectations. As the woman too, don't keep quiet. Because I'm always angry at some women because they keep quiet. You're trying to be liked. You want this man to see you as a virtuous woman. And you are presenting yourself as the superwoman when you know you don't really do those things at home. You have servants at home, and you're presenting yourself like you are going to do everything, supervise the house, supervise the children. You are going to be doing everything without help. Don't lie. Just be sincere. Talk about your expectations and negotiate. Before marriage, you have a right of choice. Negotiate these things. If you're married, you can still do that. But this time around, I'll tell you, it comes with more prayers and more patience. Because they won't change overnight. It comes with that. But you can still communicate your expectations. If they love you, they will adjust. That's why I talked about foundational principles: love, sacrifice. One last example is that of a husband who works long hours, but he occasionally helps in the kitchen. And he appreciates the wife. You will hardly find them having issues. There's appreciation, there's assistance. She feels valued, she feels loved. Let's also talk about the danger of extremes. This is because today's society pushes two unhealthy extremes. The first one is that the woman must do everything. They present it like the woman should be the full-time housemaid. This is where I remind you of Ephesians 5:25 that says husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Love your wife as you love your own body. Care for your wife. Don't take advantage of your wife. These Bible verses are what I will remind you about. Because if Christ could die for the church, is it cooking that you should not be able to do for your wife? So that's an unhealthy extreme. You should actually love your wife, support her. If she tells you that this matters to her, she wants your assistance, she wants you to be involved, she's your bride. She's telling you that when you do these things, she feels more loved and valued. Do it. It is duty. Leadership involves sacrifice and service. You saying, oh, men don't do this, so I will not do it. That's not Christ-like leadership. It's not. She's your bride. Love your bride the way she wants to be loved, not the way you think she should be loved. And the model for that is how Christ loved the church. I'm saying all of this to tell you that biblical leadership is sacrificial. It's not oppressive. How can you say that you love your wife as a man? You see that she's clearly exhausted. She's tired. She's still doing all of those things, but she's tired. And you're telling me that because you're a man and men will do these things, you refuse to help her. How can you say you love her? How? It's your duty to love her, to show care. And that's Christ-like leadership. The second unhealthy extreme is the one that believes that everything must be exactly equal. Equal rights. 50-50. And he reduces marriage to a scoreboard. Let me give you an example. I cooked today, you should cook tomorrow. I washed the dishes last week, it's your turn now. One thing I want you to know is that no marriage survives long term when both partners are obsessed with counting. Galatians 5:13 says, through love, serve one another. Healthy marriages are not built on competition. You're not competing. Healthy marriages are built on mutual service. Mutual service. And it's never 50-50. That's what I want you to know. It's never 50-50. Ideally, you're to bring your 100, your partner is to bring their 100. But during stormy days or when they are going through things, they may bring 20 and you have to bring your 100 or bring 80. They may bring 10 and you have to bring the entire 90. And for you, there are times that you will bring 20 and they have to bring 100. So it's never equal. It's never. It's mutual service. It's about love. It's about love and caring for each other. So those extremes are not healthy and they're not biblical. Whether it's the one that turns a woman into a full-time housemaid or the one that says everything ought to be 50-50. That's not the way it works. That's not the way a healthy marriage will thrive. You don't want a marriage where both of you are pretending, where they are just waiting for all of this to end. It will shock you. There are people in marriages today and they are praying that their spouses die. Is that bad? They are resentful. You don't want a marriage where your partner is enduring you. So a healthy marriage thrives by mutual service. You're probably wondering how you ought to apply all of these things to your own present day reality. Because I've said that love is mutual service, you ought to serve one another, all of that. But you're wondering, okay, so how do I apply this? What are the things I need to do practically? Especially if you're a busy couple. Both of you are working, you're running businesses, at the end of a long day, you're exhausted. So how do you apply all of these things to your reality and to your season? Because both of you may be in a season where one of the partners is involved in a more intensive work than the other partner, or one partner is traveling long hours, long distances than the other partner. So what will work in that season may be different. Do you get? My answer to this is that there is no one blueprint. If you get what I mean. You guys have to talk about it and figure out what will work for you. The Bible says, through wisdom is a house built. Wisdom is applicable here. And it is based on what will work for the both of you. One couple may decide to meal prep together. So you're cutting the onions, cutting the veggies, then one partner cooks it all. Or you both cook together. Another couple may say, oh, that won't work for us. Let's alternate cooking. Let's alternate this duty. One person will cook today, another person will cook tomorrow. But remember, it's not a scoreboard. It's never 50-50. Because there will be days where the person who wants to cook tomorrow or the person who wants to cook today won't be available for one reason or the other. This is where the teaching about mutual service and sacrificial love will kick in. And you have to fill in those shoes and be happy doing those things. So it's never 50-50. But you have to have structures. You have to have a system that will work. Do you get? And it could be that the plan will be to take out any meal that will take time during intense seasons. You know that this month will be very intense for the both of you. Any meal that will take more than 2 hours to cook, take it off your timetable. Why are you putting a meal that takes 5 hours to cook? Why are you putting it on that timetable? Why? So simplify your meals. It could be that may be what will work for you. Then it could also be leveraging on each other's strengths. In your own case, it may be that the woman is better at cooking or the man is better at cooking. So you both are saying, oh, let's leverage on our strengths. You are better at doing this. Do this. I will handle other parts of the home management. If that will work, make it work. You may also decide to outsource cooking occasionally. Give vendors to help you cook, and you both just relieve each other of that pressure. I will say here that if you have the means, please hire people to relieve the both of you of that pressure. There's nothing unbiblical about it. Hire helps. Hire domestic assistants. There's nothing unbiblical about it. The virtuous woman had helps. So you're not less of a woman if someone is assisting you. You're not less of a man if you have helps in the house. But let me bring a balance to outsourcing. Because the purpose of outsourcing is to relieve the both of you of the pressure. It is not to remove service and care out of the equation completely. And I'm saying this because of people whose partners have acts of service as a major love language. If you have a partner whose major love language is acts of service, it means you have someone who is telling you that much more than saying I love you, I want you to show me that you love me. So for them, love is in action, not in just the words. For that person, this conversation is deeper. It's deeper than food and cooking. It is about how they view love. For that person, cooking is not just cooking. Cooking for them is you saying, I love you, I care about you, I value you. So it's deeper. I'm saying that if you have the means to outsource, don't let go of any small moment to show them that you love them by actually serving them. So you may have house helps at home, but as the man, ensure you infuse into your schedule, maybe once every 2 weeks, that you will personally cook for your wife, if that is a major love language. As a woman, you should also infuse it into your schedule, even if you have the means to outsource and you actually have helps, that maybe on his stressful days, you cook his favorite meal. Do you get? So it goes beyond just cooking for people whose love language is acts of service. Take note of that and have peace. You're outsourcing to preserve your energy, to preserve your peace, but don't let go of showing love and care to each other. Do you get that? In conclusion, the Bible does not ask who can avoid serving the most. What the Bible does ask is how can two people build a healthy home together? So you see that the deeper issue is not cooking. It is selfishness and a lack of care. I'll have you know also that a healthy marriage is not built on dictatorship. It's not built on competition, and it's not built on scorekeeping. A healthy marriage is built on wisdom, love, and responsibility. Next week, I'll be talking about the matter of submission, as I've seen this topic to be a source of trigger to a lot of people, especially women. But allow me to tell you that this is your cheat code to thrive in your marriage as a woman. So if this conversation helped you to see relationships more clearly, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification. Bye for now. Don't yet leave. I promised to share a personal story before the video ends. And I totally forgot. I had to go get dressed when I remembered. So this happened to me quite recently. And on this particular day, I served my mom a meal. It was swallow and soup. I dished it in two different plates and I placed it on a stool. My neighbor was around, so she came to visit my mom, so she saw me doing all of that. My neighbor then asked me why I was not using a tray to serve my mom. My mom was even the one who replied and told her that, oh no, this works for her. She does not see the need to add a tray, just adds the pile of plates that needs to be washed, that this one really works well for her. My neighbor then added that, oh, I'm just saying it for the time she goes to visit her boyfriend. That's when it struck me. And this is where my story lies. Because I thought about it. So what do you mean when I go to visit my boyfriend? I'm visiting. So the person who I'm visiting should be the one hosting. I just thought it was a no-brainer. If I'm visiting you, am I the one who want to cook? No. And I just said it that it's the one that will cook, obviously. If you come to visit me, obviously I will cook and host you. It was a no-brainer for me. I didn't know that I was worsening the situation. I then added that I want a husband that can cook, a husband that is hands-on and is willing to do it. And I said it from a place of self-awareness of what I want. She just told me, stop saying that. Stop saying that. She said a word to me in Yoruba and I will translate it for you. She told me, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kó fẹ́ dídì mí lọ́kọ. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kó fẹ́ dídì mí lọ́kọ. Meaning, may God never allow you marry an idiot as a husband. What she was trying to say is that only a man that is an idiot will cook for his wife. It was just blowing my mind. Not in a good way, right? In a bad way. I think at a point I was speechless. But I had to tell her that this is what I want and this is what I will get. She now added that what I should pray for is a man that is wealthy, a man that is rich. I paused again. I told her that, okay, my husband will be rich. We will be wealthy. But I still want a man that is hands-on, a man that can cook and is willing to cook. I said it earlier that I mentioned that from a place of self-awareness. Because for me, my major love language is acts of service. And I know myself. This also has nothing to do with gender. If I'm at home, for instance, and there's a lot of work to do, we then have a lot of people at home, male and female. If you all leave me to that work, it will get to a point that I'll feel you all hate me. You all just hate me. You all just want me to be exhausted. Because why can't you help me out? That's the way I feel. And it has nothing to do with gender. So whether the person at home is a female or the person at home is a male, it's a personal thing for me. And I know. It's one of the reasons I just know that, okay, no matter how much we outsource, I would love a man that is also hands-on. It matters to me. Yeah. So I told her, oh, my husband is going to be rich. We're going to be rich. But he's still going to be hands-on. Why did I share that story? I share that story to show you that everyone is a product of their house, their upbringing, and their environment. So don't you, for any reason, skip asking questions about gender roles. Your normal is not their normal. Imagine a boy who grew up in that kind of household where it's an insult for a man to do anything only. You should not be surprised if he says that as an adult. That is how we grew up. Or a lady who also grew up in that household. If she says something like that, you should not be surprised or offended. Where I have issues is when people with traditional mindsets go and look for people with modern mindsets and they marry each other. You will clash. There will be conflict. It's unavoidable. I believe you can always find your kind. There are women who strongly believe a man should never step into the kitchen. And there are men who believe it's an insult if they step into the kitchen. Find each other, marry each other. You will have a peaceful marriage. There are men who believe that there's nothing wrong with sharing responsibilities. I am not less of a man when I do that. And there are women who believe that find each other, marry each other. It takes a whole lot to change an adult. Think about you. You want to change an habit, for instance. Think about how long it takes to change an habit. It takes a whole lot. So I'm saying if you're still single, don't skip this question because you're in love and don't pretend. Be very sincere and look for your kind. All of the things I said earlier is to help you see what the Bible is saying. But if you are saying that how you grew up and what you believe is how you want to live your life and do your marriage, please find your kind. Find your kind. You if you search long enough, you will see that you're kind. Stop stressing another innocent human being. So ask questions, please. And when I say ask questions, don't think it's only ladies that should ask these questions. Guys, please ask questions as well. Ask. Ask what they believe. If it aligns with what you believe and how flexible this person is. Because what really matters is flexibility. How flexible they are, what they can shake grounds on, what you can shake grounds on. See if it can work. If it can't work, move on. Do you get? So take care of yourself. See you next week.